What's going on, everybody? This is your Astrology Horoscope for Monday, August 28th, 2023. I'm astrologer Alex Skiles, and welcome to the Moon Base. Thank you all so much for being here. Hope you all are doing amazing. Good to see you guys again. Welcome new people. A lot of new people have showed up. I appreciate that. So I'm thinking we've been so busy. It's been hard late nights to just show up and do a daily. So I'm going to probably start doing a weekly horoscope, and then as we move through this Venus and Mercury retrograde here, I'll start doing dailies and doing other stuff and getting into some other really amazing, interesting stuff that I have on my mind that I want to share with you guys. So yeah, thank you all for being here. Mars is in Libra now. We're approaching the Pisces full moon, so shit is really getting interesting for sure. And I think the most ironic and interesting part about this is that here by the going into next week, as we get to this coming weekend, Venus is going to be direct, right? So we've been going through so much relationship stuff all summer. It's just been wild, you know, Venus squaring Uranus. It's just been one thing after another in our relationship situations, you know, and definitely financially, you know, our own self-worth and how we look at ourselves and how we feel about ourselves, how we express ourselves, what we want to create, our raw, authentic self, which is Leo. Like, it's been going through a lot. And now that Venus is getting ready to go direct, Mars is in Libra, ready to really like drop the gavel, so to say, especially when it comes to relationship stuff. It's not over yet. So I think as Venus goes direct here, this Mars in Libra is kicking us into gear, and being able to like face some of this relationship stuff that we need to face and move through it and be diplomatic about it and take it head on and work through it together so it can balance itself out, you know. Mars knows it's about to approach the South Node. So we're going to let a lot of shit go. And we've let a lot go with this Venus retrograde. So it's not over yet when it comes to this relationship stuff we've been going through. So as we're waking up on Monday, the moon and Pluto are together. So this is some deep unconscious emotions rising to the surface today. I think there's a lot of powerful insights that are coming from our subconscious. There's a lot going on in the world of Capricorn and the big outer world of Capricorn, and, you know, of the things that we can't control. And there's a lot of fear being thrown at us, a lot of fear rising to the surface. And this is a moment where these emotions that are coming up today, it's like, we can't attach to these emotions. We can't attach to this fear. You know, we have to be a little cold about it. You know, we want to get to the top and we want to keep building our lives. And we are on this divine destined path that is Capricorn, you know, and we are here to serve a purpose and to create something and to create a structure for the larger whole. But the fear can really get in the way, you know, and the fear is what holds us back. And whatever is coming up in that regard today, when it comes to fears, you know, like this is a lot of traumatic stuff that we've been going through that we have to really detach from, you know. And Capricorn is very cold. You know, you get to the top of the mountain, the sun's still shining, but there's snow. It's cold. You know, even at ground level, the temperature is warm, but you get to the top of the mountain, like it's cold, and it could be lonely as well, you know. So we really have to detach from the fears that are rising up today. And definitely by the time that the moon is leaving Capricorn, it's going to come into Aquarius. It's going to make a nice trine to Mars. So this is like a nice little warm welcome to Mars and Libra. Definitely when it comes to our communities and relationships and the connections that we have made and that we are making, like we're feeling very secure emotionally within that, and willing to act upon what needs to be weighed out here in our relationship situations, because there's so much going on. But like this is a moment where it's like, Capricorn and Aquarius just want to detach and look at things from the outside and just make bolder decisions from a higher level. And what we've been going through with this Venus retrograde all summer, I think this Mars and Libra is helping us kick into gear what we need to weigh out here. And definitely this moon making a nice trine to Mars is helping us emotionally detach, not get too sucked into things, to weigh these options out and know where to move and know how to act, but also remind us that like we can't do it alone, even if we climb to the top of the mountain, like we're alone, but it's like, how are we going to share that knowledge? Like we have to connect with the world and share what we've learned when we get to the top, or what we've made and what we've built. And that requires healthy relationships, right? Which is Libra. So today it's like, we want to kind of detach and look at things from the outside in and weigh these things out. So we're on our way to this Pisces full moon. So this detached kind of energy isn't exactly what we're going to be going through all weekend, or all week, because things are about to get very emotional. So we want to be prepared for that as we're going into the week. It's like, hey, we are actively like healing our relationships and working through these issues, and not letting the scale tip too far, because by the time Mars gets to the south node, the scale might be tipped a little too far here. And that's going to be definitely a moment of conflict that we're going to have to face here. But by Monday going into Tuesday, the moon is getting ready to trine or square over to, sorry, my light just changed, so that was very distracting. It's going to make a square to Jupiter and Uranus, and Uranus is ready to go retrograde here by Monday evening. So this is the moment where the real curveballs begin. This is where they really start coming at us like, wow, like this is a re-examination, a revolution, like everything, a redo, a restructure, a rebuild, reignite, all these things. And with this Uranus going retrograde, like this is some shocking stuff coming at us, and it's really helping us reevaluate what we're manifesting, and what is practical in our lives, and the resources we need or the resources we don't have, or the resources that we need to bring in, or the resources that we've overexpended. With Uranus, like things can get overexpended here, especially with Jupiter too. It's ready to go retrograde. So it's like with Jupiter direct, it's like we're pumping air into the ball. It's expanding. And then once it goes retrograde, it's like the ball deflates, and what that really means with Jupiter and Uranus going retrograde in Taurus, it's like it's coming down to what we've been manifesting on a material level, and we have all of what we need. It's just we really are now being called to re-examine and reevaluate these things. And Venus, when it goes direct, it's going to square Uranus for the last time. But the irony there is that the first two times that Venus squared Uranus was direct. And the second time, Venus was retrograde while Uranus was direct. So now, on the flip side of things, Uranus is going to be retrograde and Venus is going to be direct for the last square. So definitely when it comes to our self-worth, our finances, our relationships, our value in the world, this is the final swing of like these things really like being tested and challenged to really bring in the resources that we really need and the self-worth and self-evaluation that we really need to not be afraid to express ourselves fully and truly and be our raw authentic selves and to create create the magic in our lives, procreate, create art and music, to be able to perform from a true authentic place. And this has been a challenge, and this has been forcing us to kind of step out of our comfort zones, with this Venus square Uranus. And with Uranus going retrograde, like this is going to throw us out of our comfort zones like we haven't seen yet. And the way to work through that is to not be afraid to express ourselves and say how we feel, perform at a high level, perform for an audience. That is a very healing thing as we move through this Venus square Uranus. It's like we're going to find a whole new reawakening within ourselves of us as creators. So this is a big manifestation happening on a physical level. So this is a big week. This is a massive week. Like I would love to just keep going on about the whole entire week, but we've got this Pisces full moon. But today we got the Ace of Swords upright, and God is giving us the tools that we need to weigh out these very intense relationship stuff that's popping up, and definitely on a conscious level, like these fears that are coming up that are becoming conscious, maybe things that we didn't even realize that we were afraid of. Like this is all coming to the surface, and like we're being given the tools we need to face this. And Mars and Libra is helping us weigh out and judge and bring in some harmony in our relationships, even when there is conflict, because when there is conflict that rises up within relationships, like we have the tools to fight through that, to find harmony, to find peace, to find balance. But nothing is free, and you have to fight for it. With Mars and Libra, it's like we want harmony, we want love, we want peace. It's like we have to fight for it. And God's giving us the tools to fight those battles. And today that's kicking off, because as we get through Tuesday going into Wednesday and Thursday, it's like things are going to get really mushy, really emotional as the moon's in Pisces, conjuncting Saturn, opposing Neptune, opposing Mercury, and the moon's going to conjunct Neptune. Like it's gonna get pretty wild. Like the spiritual vibration as the moon comes out of Aquarius, like it's gonna increase so high that we gotta really ride that wave and not be too caught up in the neurotic places that we can get stuck into. Because Monday and Tuesday, it's like the moon in Capricorn and Aquarius, like it's much easier to detach emotionally and just kind of look at things. But as the moon comes into Pisces and it becomes full, we are going to be in an emotional hurricane, right? So, yeah, this is going to be a super intense week and massive shifts. I'm excited that Venus is coming direct finally. But with Mars and Libra, this relationship stuff, like it's not over. Now we can actually take the stuff head on that we've been experiencing in our relationships all summer with Venus retrograde. So we can work these things out now, and we have the tools. God's given us the tools. And yeah, I hope you guys have a lovely Monday, and I will see you guys on Tuesday. Peace out.